Hey everyone, welcome to week 4. Think about that for a second of Eat Clean, Get Lean. And tonight we're going to be, everybody can see the slide, we're going to be dealing with hormones and sleep. And let me just duck out of here for a second. There we go. Let me go over here, make sure everyone's set. Great job. I'm just waiting for a couple more people to come into the room real quick. A couple things I can tell you all about before we get started. Today I found out that one of my clients, longtime clients, been a client of mine for 12 years since I first opened up in Manasquan. Brent Studer, who was the head pro at Manasquan River Golf Club, he's now the head pro, director of golf, anything you can name with regards to golf over at Matitaconk. So he qualified for the U.S. Senior Open today. That means he'll be flying out to California the end of June to participate with people. If you're familiar with golf, people like Davis Love III. I think he's a senior now, and Freddie Couples, and a whole host of people that played on the PGA Tour. Now they all play in the Senior Tour. So huge, type of thing. It's a huge opportunity for him to go out and play with touring pros, and he's going to represent us real well in New Jersey. And why is my screen jumping to the next? There we go. Shouldn't jump by itself. It should wait for me. Okay, that's probably Susan's way of saying, let's get on with it. What a nice picture of this little seal. He's just hanging out, catching a nap. All right, so we're going to talk tonight about sleep and hormones. Insomnia, hormone imbalance, or sleeplessness is both a cause and an effect. Let's expand on that a little bit. Well, basically, hormone imbalance resulting from perimenopause, menopause, adrenal fatigue, or any of its other symptoms may cause sleeplessness, which in turn worsens the hormone imbalance. Let's go another layer deeper on this. Sleeplessness also has many other non-hormone related causes. These hormonal and non-hormonal causes of insomnia include chronic stress, night sweats, adrenal fatigue, anxiety, and dietary habits. Ooh, there's a good one. Here we have a guy just can't get enough coffee in him to keep him awake. Now, insomnia in women causes hormone imbalance and worsens the symptoms of menopause because the body needs sleep for the body's hormones to do their job properly. Sleep is absolutely essential for repair and rejuvenation. Poor sleep habits can predispose people to an early death by the way of obesity, heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. So it's all hormonally driven, stress driven. Boy, my slides keep turning on their own. Hormones have no chance to do their healing work without sleep. Let me repeat that again. Hormones have no chance to do their healing work without sleep. When you lose sleep, you really can't catch up. Your hormones just don't spring back like that. Sleeping less than you need affects at least 10 different hormones, causing them to shift and disrupt appetite, fertility, mental health, as well as cardiac health. Sleep, I don't know why it's jumping ahead on me like that. Susan must have put it in a program that causes the slides to switch. Sleep is essential to maintain proper hormone balance and health. Insomnia hormones include estrogen and testosterone. Okay, now we can get into that. So let's talk about estrogen first. Estrogen is a sleep-maintaining hormone. It is common to have an estrogen deficiency in perimenopause and menopause, and when your body is not producing enough natural estrogen, your ability to get a full night's sleep suffers as well. Also, a lack of testosterone is an issue for women. Diminished testosterone is linked with snoring and sleep apnea, a repetitive interruption of breath during sleep. Why is that? Because if there's a lack of muscle tone, especially in the throat, it's going to cause the soft tissue to collapse down on the airway and produce sleep apnea. Developing healthy sleeping habits can also prevent insomnia. Developing a bedtime routine and going to sleep around the same time each night helps your body to form good sleep tendencies. It's also a good idea to remove distractions or anything likely to disturb sleep from your bedroom. This could include your television and pets. So here we have Susan sleeping and the cat attacking her, saying, "Get up and feed me," or "Let's play. It's 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm not tired," but we're tired. So sometimes the cat gets thrown out the door gets shut, and we get some sleep. Though it seems strange, it is important to get up and walk around when you find yourself tossing and turning and having a hard time getting back to sleep. This is because it's important not to allow your body or mind to associate your bed with sleeplessness. So, get up, maybe do the dishes if you didn't finish the dinner dishes, try to read. What helps with me, I'll just share this with you, is putting the TV on and laying on the couch and closing my eyes. It has something to do with just the noise, or maybe I'm not sure what it is, but that does help me. So if you find something that you can identify that works for you, then you should go ahead and do that. Now, relief from insomnia and balanced hormones provide several benefits. Sleep, sound sleep grants a reduced risk of high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, and depression. When testosterone is balanced, slow wave or deep sleep is much easier to achieve. If you sleep enough each night, you can lose weight as a result of a decrease in your cortisol level. Well, let's talk a little bit more about that. Furthermore, greater sleep length is associated with a reduced incidence of breast cancer, and people who nap for 30 minutes at least 3 times a week had a 37% lower chance of heart attack. So if you feel like you have that need to take a nap in the afternoon and you can do it, by all means do it. But 30 minutes should be sufficient. Now, this is some really neat stuff here we're going to talk about. Neurological repair during sleep. I've been teaching this for years. Let's talk a little bit about it. Some experts believe sleep gives neurons used while we're awake a chance to shut down and repair themselves. Without sleep, neurons may be so depleted in energy or so polluted by byproducts of normal cellular activities that they begin to malfunction. Okay, so that could lead on to some diseases such as MS, lupus, some of your autoimmune diseases. Okay, so we need the brain and nervous system to have an opportunity to repair itself. Sleep also gives the brain a chance to exercise important neural connections that might otherwise deteriorate from lack of activity. I mean, that's why we dream. Every night when you fall asleep, the cells in your brain actually shrink a little bit, and it increases the space in which the cerebral spinal fluid can flow through the brain and so to say backwash the brain. So when you give the opportunity for that to happen, all the byproducts of normal cellular activities, they begin to get cleaned out. I think this is so great. So another real importance for sleep. The cause of insomnia in men often varies significantly from the causes of insomnia in women. The low testosterone associated with andropause, or the male menopause, can contribute to sleep apnea in men, leading to insomnia or sleeplessness. I'll get more into what sleep apnea is. I've talked about it a few times. I'll make a deeper reference in a few minutes. Sleep apnea is the interruption of or difficulty breathing during sleep. It affects about 9% of adult males and is more common in obese males. The inhibited breathing and loud snoring common of sleep apnea tends to disrupt sleep many times throughout the night. Okay, before I get into this next thing, let me give you my own personal experiences. And if the slide flips, I'll just put it back. I started developing sleep apnea probably sometime in college. And during college and shortly after college, I was at my leanest. So it definitely was not a situation with me because of my weight. The other thing is I was also in my prime. I was lifting very heavy, exercising aggressively. So it definitely was not a lack of testosterone. But if you look at my jaw, I have my lower jaw, my mandible is smaller than it should be. In order to keep my teeth relatively straight, I've had 6 teeth pulled, not including the wisdom teeth. Actually, including the wisdom teeth, I should say. Let's make this sound a little more realistic here. So I've had 6 teeth removed from my mouth and braces, okay, because I have the normal amount of teeth and the normal amount of soft tissue in my palate, but I don't have enough room for them. It's like trying to put 3 pounds of sugar in a 2-pound bag. So I've had sleep apnea, and I was diagnosed with it in 1994, and I've been treated for it ever since, and now I sleep great. So I'll talk more about what I'm doing for my sleep in a few minutes. Let's get back to sleep apnea. When testosterone levels are in their optimal range, slow wave or deep sleep is easier to achieve. Thus, there's an improvement in sleep in various ways when testosterone levels are optimum in men. Insomnia in men resulting from low testosterone and sleep apnea can lead to several other problems, including fatigue, reduced insulin sensitivity of the muscles. We never lose insulin sensitivity of the fat. That's why it's so easy to gain stored body fat, because the body has the ability to take extra sugar and convert it to triglycerides stored as fat. So our fat cells are always very insulin sensitive. So that it's very easy for them to store fat. Some of the other side effects are low human growth hormone levels and high cortisol levels. Cortisol, the stress hormone, will increase with prolonged insomnia because of the stress on the body. Constant high levels of cortisol can create a hormonal pattern that further reduces testosterone production. It can also lead to adrenal fatigue, which often worsens the fatigue and the insomnia. I didn't want to jump yet. I wanted to complete that thought. So let's go back and talk about this here for a second. What do we know about cortisol? Cortisol and melatonin, which helps you to sleep, are opposite sides of the same coin. You've heard me say this before. So if your cortisol level is too high, you're going to minimize the production of melatonin, which makes it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep. On top of that, high cortisol levels cause reduction in testosterone production, okay? And this can lead to adrenal fatigue, which often worsens the fatigue and the insomnia. So you can see how it becomes a vicious cycle if you're not getting your sleep, and how important it is to get that sleep. And we're going to give you some solutions in a few minutes. Now, this is very important. Human growth hormone is naturally made during the first 90 minutes of sleep. Therefore, if your sleep is disrupted, your growth hormone production is reduced. This can lead to lower levels of testosterone and reduced lean muscle mass. So, if the slide flips again, I'll just go back. So keep this in mind now. The first 90 minutes of sleep is where you have your highest production of human growth hormone. So if you're on the couch and you're waking up and falling asleep and waking up and falling asleep, and you're not getting sound sleep, you're going to limit your body's ability to produce human growth hormone. Now, we're spending all that time in the gym exercising to try to get a production of human growth hormone, but we're stunting our ability to produce it with sleep, where we make a lot of it. So you can't make up for it. Lack of sleep, just like lack of good nutrition, you can't be made up with exercise. So it's very important we understand that. Sleep is also very important for proper insulin sensitivity and glucose control. If sleep is disrupted, the body stops utilizing insulin as effectively, and the body begins to need more and more insulin to control blood sugar. This leads to weight gain, a pre-diabetic state that, if not well managed, will lead to type 2 diabetes. Okay, let's just talk a little bit more about sleep apnea. We'll wrap this up. So the sleep apnea is caused by obstructed breathing, is due to too much tissue as seen in obesity, or decreased muscle tone, which may be seen with low testosterone. Now, if you are obese, you're probably producing too much estrogen, which again decreases the body's ability to make testosterone. So you can see how lack of sleep leads to obesity, or obesity can lead to lack of sleep. So it's a vicious cycle that needs to be broken. Okay, so let's get back to the sleep apnea real quick. So with the low tone, you're gonna get the collapse of the soft tissue in the throat. This inhibits the airflow in the mouth and the nose, which causes snoring and decreased ability for adequate oxygenation during sleep. As a result, men often wake up numerous times during the night and rarely achieve a deep sleep. And we need that deep sleep for the production of our growth hormone and for the cleaning out, so to say, of our neurological system in the brain. So let's talk about some helpful sleep supplements. Okay, melatonin is a natural hormone that helps to regulate the sleep-wake cycle, the circadian rhythms or circadian cycles. So find a supplement that combines melatonin with 5-HTP and L-theanine. And what we use at Keenan Fitness, KM Fitness, and in the Keenan house, and what I advise to my clients is something called ID Life Strips. I'll show you a picture of that in a few minutes. But there's some other things you can do in addition to that. There's some great bedtime or sleepy time teas. Okay, you're going to be able to just put those in a pot and put a lid on it so you can keep the oils in the water so you get the medicinal effects of the tea. There's something called the kava plant, which is a member of the pepper family, which has been shown to relieve anxiety. Both kava and valerian root improve sleep with people with stress-related insomnia. And then you have GABA. GABA activates the major calming neurotransmitters, promoting relaxation and reducing anxiety. But the body has difficulty absorbing supplements containing synthesized GABA. That's why experts recommend theanine, or L-theanine as we call it, which the body can easily absorb and ultimately use to boost GABA levels. So the ID Life sleep strips have a very natural form of the L-theanine. Valerian root has also been used as a sedative and anti-anxiety medication or treatment for more than 2,000 years. And last but not least is magnesium. All my clients who are on the ID Nutrition with our vitamins, minerals, and supplements, I always suggest that they add magnesium to their program because it'll help them with sleep. Along with contributing to a good night's sleep, this light, silvery, metallic element is an oft-overlooked nutrient that helps maintain normal muscle and nerve function, helps keep heart rhythm steady, supports a healthy immune system, and keeps bones strong. Magnesium also helps to regulate blood sugar levels and promote normal blood pressure, according to the National Institute of Health. Lack of magnesium inhibits nerve cell communication, which leads to nerve cell excitability in cases like Parkinson's and multiple sclerosis. And there's a picture of the sleep strips. They come in a little pouch, and you're suggested to take one strip. You can take two. Put it under the tongue. The great thing about this product is the delivery system. Okay, if you take a pill, you got to swallow it. It goes into your stomach, makes its way to your small intestine, where it's broken down. It's absorbed into the body. It goes through the hepatic portal system, which is nothing more than a tunnel leading directly to the liver. Once it's in the liver decides what goes back in the body. It'll let a pill form of L-theanine and 5-HTP back in the body, but that could take an hour. And you want to fall asleep now. The sleep strips go under your tongue where there's a lot of capillary beds, and it's absorbed directly into your bloodstream, so it goes to work immediately. The active ingredients of L-theanine and 5-HTP help to lower cortisol levels and help to calm the brain and cause a relaxation. When that happens, along with the melatonin in the sleep strip, because the cortisol levels have been dropped so low, the body naturally starts to produce more melatonin. You fall asleep and you stay asleep, and you don't wake up the next morning feeling real druggy like you might with a pharmaceutical preparation. So a lot of my clients who were on Ambien or Lunesta or those other type of sleep medications have switched off to the sleep strips and have found a lot of success with those. Let's go to the next slide. Some other helpful hints. Keep noise and light to a minimum. Use earplugs, window blinds, heavy curtains, or even an eye mask. Make sure the room is cool below 68 degrees. Small night lights in the bedroom and bathroom are also a good idea, so you don't trip on the cat that won't move when you walk through the bedroom. I swear one of these days that I'm going to step on the cat because he just will not move. He expects you to see him. I don't have those glow in the dark eyes like he has. Avoid large meals 2 hours before bedtime. A light snack is fine. Don't drink caffeine, including tea and soft drinks, 4 to 6 hours before bedtime. Regular exercise like walking will reduce stress hormones and help you sleep better. But don't exercise within 2 hours of bedtime. You may have more difficulty falling asleep. Don't nap late in the afternoon, so don't lay on the couch at 5 o'clock because you might not fall asleep that night right away. Stop working on a task an hour before bedtime to calm your brain. Don't discuss emotional issues right before bedtime. So for all you married people, okay, we'll have to suck it up on that one. Keep pets outside your sleeping area if you can. Okay, we'll try that tonight. See how far I get. Where's my little cat? That's what I'll hear. Make sure your bedroom is well ventilated and at a comfortable temperature. Learn a relaxation technique like meditation or progressive relaxation. We'll talk more about those in the next coming weeks. All right, so we didn't talk about food the whole night. Had to finally get around to it, so here we go. Now, at this point in time, everybody should be able to identify if their HEC is in check. Next week, we're going to move to the Eat More, Exercise More model. It's very, very important that we make that switch, even if it's only for a week, because we do need to start to build a little bit more lean mass. We should be in a good fat-burning metabolism by now with all the walking we're doing, the exercise, the protein shakes, the vitamins, the sleep, the hydrate, all the important components of our program. So if your HEC in check and you're losing weight, don't change anything. HEC's not in check, add 10 grams of fat. HEC's still not in check, take out the fat, add in the carbohydrate. HEC is still not in check, put the fat back in. And this is more important. When we get to the Eat More, Exercise More, if your HEC is still not in check because we've really upped the exercise, we're going to have to start to add 1 to 2 protein snacks a day. Okay, again, if your HEC is in check but you're not losing weight, now we have to start. Well, this will make more sense when we get into Eat More, Exercise More. I know I've talked about this, so I don't want to get too much into this. But as we get into the Eat More, Exercise More model, if you're not losing weight, we're going to have to start pulling carbohydrate out of the breakfast and lunch meals. Make sure we're walking at least an hour a day. You might have to go back to an eat less, exercise less model if that works better for you. We're going to get into metabolic workouts and burst training next week, so I don't want to spend any more time on that. So next week, we will move into the Eat More, Exercise More model. Look for notes coming in the next week's meeting. Okay, I'm going to go back for questions. I threw a lot of heavy physiology at you today, guys. I know that. But understanding the power of sleep, to me, is so crucial for what we're trying to do. All right. I don't see any questions. This will get delivered into everyone's email tomorrow. Now, you notice I've been keeping these talks to about a half hour, which is really good. That's what I promised I was going to do this time around. I have some really neat stuff coming up with Eat More, Exercise More that I'm going to be releasing. I'm going to have Susan send out some really cool handouts that we just got our hands on that we'll put together for me. So I'll be sharing those with you as well. If I see you in KM Fitness, if you're training with me, you have questions about anything we talked about with sleep, love to talk to you. If not, you can always hook up with us in our Facebook, or you can send me an email. Okay, take care, everybody. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.